We live in Kentucky. Kentucky geographically is one of the most diverse states in the nation. You've got your mountains in the east, big elk herd in the east. You've got central Kentucky where your horse farms are, kind of rolling hill type country. And then in the western part of the state, you've got your typical Midwestern type farmland, which that part of the state has been known to hold some big bucks historically. Where we live in the central part of the state, as far as a nationwide level, is an area that people don't really think about, but ask any hunter locally and they'll tell you the potential that we have here and the deer that are killed in this area of the state year in, year out. They might not necessarily be as easy to kill as, say, an Iowan deer or a Missouri deer, but they're here and they're plentiful, and every year going into our season, our goal is to kill one of those big central Kentucky bucks.
The essence of who we are and the realities in which we stand are evidence of things unseen. And the individual frames of our life that exist between the beginning and the end are influenced with purpose. They are the shadows of the substance. They are the moments that are leading us to hallowed ground.
Past years we've tried several different seed blends from several different companies and bounced around a ton as far as what we're going to plant and try to get to grow, and then we started planting Evolved. This particular plot was the biggest single area on the farm that we had to plant, so we're going to have to plant something that, I mean, it had to grow for us to have a successful season. And for this particular plot we chose Buck and Oats. Buck and Oats is a pretty cool seed blend because it contains both forage oats and forage chicory. These two combined are going to give you a food plot that's highly digestible, high in protein, cold resistant, drought resistant, and looking back, this really could have been the difference maker in our season.
portable electric all-terrain vehicle of new stature, weighing a mere 100 pounds and producing 5 horsepower of torque and traveling 50 miles per charge. Quiet Cat is capable beyond its years. Hunt like a cat.
I demand the best. In a game of inches, when the smallest of imperfections can mean the difference between success and failure, I feel confident knowing that every QAD Ultra Rest has been designed, manufactured, and assembled right here on American soil. With unparalleled precision and uncompromised quality, the Ultra Rest is more than a piece of equipment. It's part of who we are. I shoot the Ultra Rest, America's Rest, only by Quality Archery Designs.
This episode brought to you by Bloodsport Archery, 100% carbon, hand-sorted premium arrows.
Fortunately for us, the icons were showing us some pictures of a few really good bucks that were coming in all relatively close to the food plot that we had just planted. So we put some muddies together, hung them for pretty much every possible scenario that we could encounter, just in hopes that we could catch up with one of these guys the first weekend of season. We got everything done at the farm that we needed to do, and before you know it, it's opening day. And for me personally, this was probably the most highly anticipated opening day since I've started hunting, just because of the sheer amount of big buck pictures we were getting before the opener. Opening morning, we kind of played it safe because we didn't want to bump any of the bucks off their summer patterns that we've been getting pictures of for 2 months. So we kind of sat back opening morning. Zach was up to bat opening night, had a good win for the stand we wanted to go to. So went to Dad's, shot the bows a little bit, and headed straight back out, hoping to kill a buck first night. It was starting to get later in the evening, and the bucks that had been showing up hadn't showed up at the time they normally did. And a doe comes through, and I held Zach off because I didn't want to mess the spot up. And no sooner than she leaves, she comes right back, and she's walking right underneath the tree stand. And holding Zach off the doe once is hard enough, but holding him off the same doe if she's going to give him another chance is next to impossible.
Just gonna walk around the tree. My left.
That Exodus AR 11. HD1. Exodus combination. Opening day, baby. Got it done.
We just got down out of the tree. We thought the arrow went into her other shoulder because she was quartered away, but it completely blew through it. That was devastating. There is a blood trail like no other I have ever seen. We just found doe I shot about a half hour ago. She didn't go 60 yards from a tree, and it was a road down here. That blood sport and that Exodus ate her up.
This segment is brought to you by The Sportsman's Guide, the largest supplier of brand-named hunting gear at closeout prices. Everything from boots and clothing to tree stands and accessories. The Sportsman's Guide. Lowest prices, best quality, guaranteed.
A mature buck can detect an imposter at 400 yards. So why take a chance with any old scent? Tink's Hot Shots eliminates problems found with ordinary aerosol bombs. Its bag and can system separates the scent from the propellant, so the scent is not diluted or contaminated with other chemicals. While aerosols may contain as little as 33% lure, Tink's Hot Shots spray 100% pure scent, 100% of the time. Tink's Hot Shot.
This episode of Hallowed Ground Outdoors is brought to you by Quality Archery Designs. Focus on the shot. We'll take care of the rest. Tinks. Industry-leading lures and attractants. Non-typical wildlife solutions. Protect your plot with a hot zone deer exposure system. Night muzzle loaders. Power, style, safety, and accuracy. Hoyman's extendable premium tree saws. Evolved Harvest. Grow more groceries per acre. Lakewood Products. Extreme cases for the sportsman. Wild Game Innovations. Nutrition. Attraction. Action.
Mike Wilson has been Dad's filming partner since 5 or 6 years ago when we all started filming. And Mike's relationship with this whole deal is kind of unique because the year he first started hunting is when we all first started filming. And he's been fortunate enough to kill a few deer. He just hasn't been lucky enough to kill a really good buck. And the second evening of season, Dad and Mike are set up on the back side of the buck and oats plot, and we've been getting pictures of a pretty good 10-pointer that had been coming in there 4 or 5 nights out of the week, and they hadn't seen a deer up until this point. And then sure enough, right there at last light, they look up and here he comes right down the trail they were expecting him to. So Mike's at full draw. The buck stops in some nasty stuff, and it's getting dark. So as soon as the buck stops, Dad loses him on the LCD on the camera. And as soon as he picks him back up, the buck is staring straight up at the tree. apparently the raccoons in his neck of the woods don't run big Sony cameras, so he's seen enough, and he turns around and he's leaving, and what else do I even say about that other than he was gone?
Hellground Outdoors is brought to you by Dave Smith Decoys, the highest quality decoys on the market, made in the USA.
I demand the best. In a game of inches, when the smallest of imperfections can mean the difference between success and failure, I feel confident knowing that every QAD Ultra Rest has been designed, manufactured, and assembled right here on American soil. With unparalleled precision and uncompromised quality, the Ultra Rest is more than a piece of equipment. It's part of who we are. I shoot the Ultra Rest, America's Rest, only by Quality Archery Designs.
After the beginning of the season, John moved out to Iowa to film Joe for the remainder of the season, and that left me here in Kentucky alone. And when John left, hunting got extremely tough here. We weren't getting any pictures of bucks in daylight. I was not seeing the number of deer I was seeing prior, and I could not get anything on the ground.
It's getting to be about mid-December, and I've yet to fill a buck tag. Came down to a spot we call the honey hole. Ran here with hopes to kill a buck, but I haven't tried anything for 3 months now. So if a doe comes through, she's getting shot.
As soon as we got my pre-hunt interview done, Dad looks at me and says, "We got a shooter coming," and at first glance, I had no idea. This deer was coming in on a string, and before I knew it, he was at a dead stop. I reached over, grabbed the flex tone, hit him with a grunt, and here he comes again, right to the tree. As soon as this deer started working in on us again, I knew he was at least 3.5 years old, and if he came within range, I was going to take him.
I've been hunting my tail off trying to get it done. And that is the best deer I've seen on this property all year. And I'm freezing, but I paid off. Footage looked like I hit him good, but we're gonna sit it out and maybe a doe will come by. I got one more tag, but after today, I'm gonna hang it up for a while. My season was just made. Let's just try to find this thing here, man. Whew. Good job. I'm so proud of you.
As soon as I shot my buck, we had no idea where I hit him. We looked at the footage in the tree and we still couldn't tell. So me and Dad headed back to the house to watch on the TV, and we knew that deer was dead. So we loaded up in the truck and headed right back out to the farm. We looked for first blood, and it was a road right to him. And we found him about 60 yards from the tree. Well, we just found my deer. He ended up going probably 80 yards. That Exodus absolutely destroyed him. Put the Athens right on him, and it did the job. He is a lot better than I thought. I didn't think he had as much mass, but I knew he was mature, so decided to take him. Been working my tail off trying to get it done, and it's late in the year. Glad we did it. This season was probably the most successful season I've had in my hunting career. I mean, I pushed myself all season long, and a month before season went out, I got my buck on the ground, and my season was made.
Proverbs chapter 13 verse 4 says, "The soul of the sluggard crave and get nothing, while the soul of the diligent is richly supplied." And to me, that's a true testament of Zach's season this year. You know, I left Kentucky the second week of October to go to Iowa to film Joe, and he was left without a cameraman for the remainder of the season. So that particular verse really speaks to me as far as how hard Zach had to work to do what he did this year, and the end result, you know, that hard work paying off and him filling that buck tag.
To an old oak tree and an old deer stand, it's a place where I've seen my maker's face, and where I'm born again at sunrise by his amazing grace. A peace and a purpose I have found in this sanctuary, my hallowed ground. And I am standing on this hallowed ground, where I was born, and it's where they lay me down. If anybody asks where I can be found, you tell them I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be right here on this hallowed ground. Yeah, I'll be standing on this hallowed ground.
Captioning is provided by the all-new Ameristep Crush Enforcer, featuring the patented Lightspeed single hub frame, making setup and takedown quick and easy. The all-new Ameristep Crush Enforcer.